It seemed like a normal morning, nothing felt off until I noticed the envelope. It sat neatly on the kitchen counter. My name written in his unmistakable handwriting, staring right at me. I figured it was just a quick message. Maybe he left early for work or went to see his mother. But the moment I touched it, my stomach tightened. Something told me this was different. Heavier than a note. The air around me shifted, still and thick, like the walls knew before I did.
No shoes at the door.
Our bed still messy.
Signs
that screamed something had changed. I stood frozen, hands shaking as I held the envelope. Deep down, I knew this wasn't going to end well. It carried a strange weight, like the air before a thunderstorm. Too quiet, too wrong. I tore it open slowly, my hands barely obeying. Inside, only two words jumped out at me first. Goodbye, Emma. The rest poured out, like a truth I wasn't ready for.
But
it wasn't his confession. It was mine, written through his voice, calmly, almost too calm. He said he had known since the night I came home wearing the scent of someone else's cologne. The night I lied about working late. He hadn't needed proof. My sudden calls in private, the extra showers, the girls' nights that weren't real. He saw it all, understood everything. What crushed me wasn't that he knew, it was that he stayed silent.
He gave me time,
space to be honest. Hope died. Tell the truth. Instead, I let him watch me turn into a stranger. Someone he couldn't reach anymore. Every day, chipped away at him, until he became a ghost in his own life.
He didn't say
he hated me. That was the hardest part. If he had yelled or broken things, it would have felt like justice. But his voice on the page stayed calm, hurt, but held together. He said he loved me enough to leave because staying would have broken us both. And in that moment, I realized it was already too late. I dropped to the ground. My body surrendered to sobs I didn't even feel coming. Not just guilt, but the cold, crushing truth of what I had done. How blind I'd been. How careless. I'd given up something deep and certain for something shallow and temporary. He wasn't just my partner. He was the one who folded my clothes when I forgot, who massaged my back when I was tense, who knew how I liked my coffee and kissed my forehead at night. I used to think he didn't see me, but he saw everything, silently, completely. I'd taken all of it for granted, and this was the price. I called him. Nothing. Texted, emailed, even drove to his workplace. They said he was on leave. No return date. That's when I knew this wasn't impulsive. He'd planned it. Not in anger, in heartbreak. He needed to escape the life we'd built together. From me. Days passed like smoke. I replayed everything, every sign I had missed. The way he looked at me quietly at dinner, hoping I'd say something. But I stayed silent. The mornings when he asked if I was okay and I smiled and lied. I wanted to think he might come back. That maybe time would bring us back together. But weeks turned into months. I heard from mutual friends he had moved to a small town. Started a new life. He never blamed me. Just said it didn't work out. That was it. I finally wrote him back. No stories, no defenses, just the truth. I had messed up. I had loved him, and I let that love die because I didn't know how to accept something so real. He never replied. I didn't expect him to. His goodbye had been final. I still keep the letter, folded gently in the back of a drawer I never open. It sits there like a ghost, a reminder of what love looks like, quiet, loyal, waiting. And if you ignore it long enough, you might not understand its worth until it's already gone.